Yo, what's up, everyone? Hello, hello. All right, I gotta actually hear my mic settings back. Give me 1 second. I'm listening. You guys are gonna hear some echo for like 2 seconds, but it's fine. Hold on. Okay, that sounds a lot clearer. Okay, I changed some mic settings to see how it sounds, but cool, sweet. I still sound like this every now and then. I do hate that, but you know what are you gonna do? But hello everyone. Hello, hello. So what we're gonna be doing today is we'll be doing episode 16 of Art of War. It will be it's gonna be recorded for YouTube, obviously, but obviously also I'll show you guys live here. So you know, if I just like pop the fuck off because someone makes like an agreed display, you guys get to see it live. Next, we will be doing a tier list for decks I believe new players should be playing. If they want to go into the competitive scene, obviously. And then lastly, we're going to be going over my way too early verdants list. And that's pretty much it. So, let's go ahead and start off with our VOD review. So those who have not been here or watched any of my Art of War episodes, basically, I like to look at high-level games from Tier 3, Tier 4 events, sometimes Tier 1, Tier 2, depending on if the game is special or not, or who is in it, or it's a very interesting matchup, or just something unnatural happens. But I usually like to tackle things from a high-level perspective, sometimes a philosophical perspective, so we can get more insight and become better players. So today, I gotta do my intro too. Give me 1 second, chat. What's up, everybody? What's up, some TCG, and today we're gonna click the full screen button and watch David, middle letter last middle name Lopez versus Kevin Zanker. Yep, I got that one right. This will be day 2 of the Pro Tour. This will be a follow up to our last Auto episode where we watched a very interesting game of New versus Prism. I mean, I guess one of those people were playing. But for those who don't know what Art of War is, this is where we take Tier 3, Tier 4 gameplay and attack it from a high level and a philosophical perspective, and we find out how to become better players. Today, we're going to have a Brute Mirror. Brute Mirrors are very interesting. Partially, it becomes down to like how the two are built. Obviously, KO more or less being a very aggro that pivots into mid-range if necessary. Can technically be a combo deck, depending on the structure of hand-to-hand and sometimes the build, but usually it's just it's usually this falling into this. Yeah, sometimes you'll pitch stack into that, but not really. Leviah normally, so Leviah can do all of these axes. I don't really want to. The combo with this is just setting up a big plasma fed with like Shadow. I forget the one, but it's like the new 2 for 6 that can banish 3 things and you get texture modes depending on how much you banish. So like technically, if you like can set that up like one in hand, one in arsenal, when you're plasma fed, you can do some really cool stuff. But typically, just like KO, it usually goes into one of these 3 things. Now, how it arrives is a little bit different. Obviously, with Leviah, we're taking things from a graveyard. Banishing after 6 is to show off Blood Debt. The trade-off for having this very unfortunate condition is our cards are very powerful individually. But they come at a cost, again, where we can just kill ourselves. We can have very non-functional hands. Sometimes our blocking is not very good. But more often times than not, the upside outweighs the downside. The issue is if the downside comes, usually it's game losing. Whereas KO is just trying to like really just pound you with math. Is like everything I'm going to be doing is slightly over rate. We're going to be attacking a lot of different times, a lot of different powers. Sometimes things that should never get to have go again, like CNC, are going to have go again, and sometimes even be 7. But you're very awkward spots, and then obviously the Blood Rush Bellow turns are just absolutely insane. KO's literally trying to eat the line. I got to move that line out of his face. So normally I will write down what each hero wants to accomplish. But they're trying to accomplish very similar things. Well, they're trying to accomplish similar things. Levi technically has to do extra stuff for that thing to happen. But realistically, they're both just trying to set up for big turns and absolutely like obliterate the opponent with like 20, 25 damage turns. Again, Levi has some of the extra conditions where, again, the graveyard needs to set up, but like once you get that graveyard set up and you can like flip to Blasphemous, or you have other just really big powerful turns like Blow Spells, Art of War turns, you can kind of overdo what KO is doing, but it's just not going to be as often. So KO will have the more powerful turns more often. So I would expect the first person presenting lethal would be the KO. But Levi has a lot of things. Like obviously she has the same headpiece, but she can choose to run Karen Husk if she wants to just have a 6 block. Obviously the Savage Sash is also like fine, but you know, free 6 block. This is like a 2 block into a powerful turn. Just kind of depending on the role that this Levi would like to take. They're both gonna have the Apex Bonebreaker and the Scabskin Leathers, but again, that extra like wild card Blasphemous, being able to just unlock another level of power, is going to be really sick. And obviously, again, the KO really just has the Blood Rush Bellows as like the major card in this thing. Like obviously, yes, you can break Sash on a lot of different turns and do some really like egregious things. Yes, but like, and technically, so can Levi, right? But Levi like has the Blood Rush Bellows just like KO has, but then also has Art of War. And again, if we Blasphemous can act as like a pseudo power card whenever it's flipped, because it just gives you access to the thing. Like if you have your I don't know the name off the top of my head. It's the one that can get go again if you banish a 6. The name at this moment is escaping me. But you have a lot of different ways to have power turns in Levi. They're just the conditions to be met for them to actually be more powerful than this are just more. But let's go and get into the game. If I am one of these players, so what would I like to go first? If you're on a Cast Bones build from KO, I like to go first. I am personally not on Cast Bones in the KO deck I play. Just because I just don't like the Temple Loss. Like, yes, you can technically play at the end of the turn, but that means you have to either draw and discard something different, or just like keep it in Arsenal, which I don't like either of those things, to be honest. But if you're on Cast Bones, I prefer going first, just trying to have everyone get it set up. Also, you give Levi no way to filter. Alternatively, you can just like discard like an Agile Wind Up in your turn, get the both effects that you want, and move on. Where Levi, if she goes first, yes, she technically has some hands that can function, but she really wants to start filling up the graveyard as much as she can, and the KO can kind of control that in the early turns. So let's see who's going first. Obviously, again, what the fuck? Why is this taskbar in there? Hold on. Oh, what the hell? Prime, just trolling live on camera. There we go. Alright, and as usual, we do this at ×2 speed. And we'll pause, because we'll talk about like one of the first concepts was just playing high level Flesh and Blood in general. I like to watch as soon as everyone slows up their. Okay, boom. So the first thing I always tell, especially like newer players to the competitive scene, is the first thing you should do when a game starts. Obviously, when you are pre-boarding, you're kind of just expecting like, okay, what is the average KO? What is the average Levi doing? And you sideboard based on that. Obviously, if you know the player directly, you'll know what they're on. But the second thing you want to do as soon as everything's flipped is you want to look at the equipment. Because the equipment and sometimes cards presented. What the fuck? Oh, this must just be double sleeved. I thought that was like 400,000 cards for a second, but I assume this is just 60 double sleeved or maybe triple sleeved. But usually the equipment set will tell you exactly how a person wants to play. Realistically, this is just super standard for an aggressive KO deck. Sometimes you'll see the beaten trackers here if they're trying to do a very specific kind of sash turn, like they want to lead off with something like Savage Feast or something, and they can go Savage Feast, discard a card, break the beaten trackers, have guaranteed go again, and have like an insane turn. But more or less the Leviah. The headed piece of standard, the Karen Husk versus the Savage Husk is going to be interesting. I think in decks where they need to be all out aggressive and they have no other choice but to pound their opponent's cheeks into the ground, they'll play the Savage Husk. But I think the Karen Husk is fine, especially like on turns like the CNC go again, if it's as long as it's just for 6 and other such turns. Be able to just maximize this Karen Husk value is really good. And yeah, and you usually want to get exact value. Like, in theory, if it blocks 4, sometimes 5, depending on what kind of card is causing this, it's fine. But realistically, I would much rather get the full 6 block value, which is a decent amount of cards coming for 6 in KO. Yes, you will have the 7 because of the Might token that it creates, but there will be plenty of 6s to go around. And then obviously, like, there is sometimes they play Hooves of the Shadowpede. I want to say it's Hooves of something. Hooves of Shadowpedes are whenever they don't think they need the block, or be on a whim they want the extra action point. I don't think either of those things are present, so this equipment setup is pretty standard of what I would expect here. Now we have to find out who chose to go first. Seeing this is Swiss. There's no choice. It is just who chose first. And let's see who's going first. Actually, hold on. Let me find out who goes first, and I'll back up, and we can see if we can check the hands out. Oh, I see some interesting cards in the Levi hand. The way they're looking at cards, I feel like Levi is going first. Okay, that Levi is going first. Okay, so let's see if we can pan this hand out. See if we can determine like what type of style exactly we're going for. Okay, so cards that I see, this I believe is like, I know it has no block. I believe it comes in for 6, and it allows you to banish something from your graveyard. I believe banish something from a graveyard when it attacks, something close to that. I believe I also seen a Wreck-It Romp, which looks like here. Is this Deadwood Rumbler? And I think we've seen a Barraging Beatdown. I believe that was the hand structure that I seen. Yep, there's the Wreck-It Romp. Yeah, there's the Blood Rush Beatdown. So, this hand, I'm not too big a fan of this hand. I don't think we're gonna punch through for any major damage here, but we can guarantee get 2 cards in the yard. Here, which is nice. The Kano technically can't have some no block, so maybe like you can high roll with this Browsing Beatdown. We're gonna do Scabs. Realistically, it's the first turn. There's no reason to not Scabs. I mean, okay. Unless like this hand is super functional, there's no reason to not Scabs because you don't lose anything by not doing anything. You can, in theory, just Arsenal Pass and everything be the exact same. But you have the high roll potential. Be able to go like Claw and I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a line here. You could go like Claw, Beat Down, Claw. So like they'll give you a card on this first Claw probably. They lose this card, so now they have 2 cards in hand. They have to give you both cards. Or you're going to you actually will be able to confirm damage if one of the cards is a no block. You look pretty good. I'd probably like the play line we're going for if we at least get 2 action points. Okay, no, we just get the 1. Okay, just the Joe Rumbler. Okay, this is completely fine. So we're just gonna draw a discard. Okay, yeah. See, I knew it. I knew it did something like that. If it's 6 or more was discarded, you get to banish a card from a graveyard. And yeah, there's the no block. So this is a fine way to get 2 cards in the graveyard as well. Like there was again potential you could beat down here just to have the 3, but I think the only time you would do that is if you think you have to like go like in the next 2 turns. But if you think you need to go in the next 1 to 2 turns, why wouldn't you be playing something like Savage Sash so you can be very aggressive? Where this just tells me like they want to wait for their big turn and stuff one of the KOs like CNCs or something like that. So I think this play is extremely fine, especially if we can save the Barraging Beatdown for a better turn. Hopefully we don't discard it here. That would be kind of tragic. You know what, dude? Whatever. Oh shit. Wait, why is this in the banish zone? Unless he's using this as discard, which is probably fine. Wait, that's definitely... That better be actually... Yeah! I got you, little fucking cheater. Oh, we got the Shadow Realm Horror. This is the card I was talking about earlier, if you want to, like, kind of play this combo deck. So, the Kano's obviously going to give 2 cards here. We don't see, like, an Agile windup or anything, so no free Agile. No free Quicken. We're going to see CNC, not CNC, Land Strike and Pack Hunt, and we see Weakest Link, this looks like. Weakest Link and Mighty Windup. Discarding the Mighty Windup, getting the Might. So we actually do get the Might to start off with. We just don't also get any extra. Let me back up that up so I can see the hand. Obviously, we have the Weakest Link. That is the known card. We see Weakest Link, Riled Up, CNC, Swing Big. So that hand can only ever do one thing unless we want to roll Scabs. I don't think that hand's worth rolling Scabs. Because, like, if you roll Scabs, you get to go, like, CNC for 7 into Swing Big, which is, like, it's not bad. Like, it's definitely not bad. Like, you're what, swinging 15 or something, right? You're swinging 15. Especially with a 4-card hand with 3 of them being red, you'll definitely take that any day of the week. But, like, what is the risk reward? So, like, let's talk about this hand. So, like, the highest damage play straight up is swing big for 9. You probably want to underpitch just to cycle through your deck. The most disruption obviously would be CNC for 7. Again, you can underpitch, cycle some cards in your deck, so you're not really IPing yourself as much as the average person will. You can technically throw Weakest Link for 7. It is disruption, but realistically, I don't think the Leviathan cares, like, about this hitting. Like, obviously, they don't want to take damage. They don't want to card discarded if they're not the ones doing, but it's not like, oh no, we can't ever use this card again. Like, they literally will use that as fuel later on. Like, they'll take a hit now, but they'll use this fuel later. So when it comes to straight up damage, this is the best. So now let's talk about, like, 2 action points, like, which are most likely to do. So the easiest one would be CNC and CNC specifically into Swing Big or Weakest Link technically. Both kind of do the same thing. If you want the most damage, you can go CNC for 7 into Swing Big for 8. It's 15. If you want the most disruption, you can go CNC for 7 into Weakest Link for 6. That is 13. Oh, that is 13. If you want to be weird, I guess, you could go, like, Weakest Link into Swing Big. Oh, I don't know why I'm just writing out like that. You go Weakest Link for 7 and 8, so it's, like, exactly the same as this line. Except the Weakest Link is dependent on what their hand is and how they want to block. So when you look at the most efficient way to do this, we gotta ask ourselves, what do we lose? What do we lose by getting 0 action points? What is our average play on 1 action point? What do we gain on 2? So obviously, with 0, you're just doing 0 damage. You're doing nothing. The Leviathan won't be able to put cards in graveyard, like, while saving life. They kind of have to go back to their own turn if they don't have the way to have go-agains, like, they don't want us to roll Scabs, or they don't have a way to play multiple things. You're not punished too hard. On a 1-card hand like this, I would not want to give the Lion an action point for no reason. So I'd probably just send the CNC for 7. So it would be a 7 off of... You can do it off of 2 cards, but I would just do 3. I would just underpitch, to be honest. And then you can use the full hand here. And I would do this, so the 15. So we have a difference of 8. We have a +8 EV difference. And this also has disruption attached to it. You don't have an arsenal. Like, well, yes, you do have some good arsenal targets. So you technically don't have to well, actually, no. You would have to You would have to pitch your whole hand here. I'm sorry, I was about to say something incorrect. So you forgo an arsenal, but you're sending a lot of damage and disruption. Like, technically, yes, the Leviathan can do this, but the Leviathan doing this on turn 1 and then immediately establishing a bunch of pressure. I don't think we care. So because it's +8, going from wax point to 2, I actually wouldn't hate rolling scabs here, especially since we're not losing a ton if we only have one, and we're also not losing a ton if we have 0 action points. Yep, and rolling scabs. Except the EV's just too good. Yep. So here, I'm pretty sure we just OCNC for this, and we underpitch. Choosing to keep the weakest link, it looks like. Okay, and keeping back that swing big. Alright. Obviously, on a blow turn, swing big is probably like the best card you could have in this situation, so I don't hate it. And we're gonna see an aggressive equipment block here. So immediately, and like also there wasn't a lot of thinking going on. So we see 2 equipment block happening. Yes, and well, specifically with the Apex Bonebreaker, it's somewhat like fine to even more fine to do this because you're also getting a might token on the back end. So it's even more value to block with it here. The fact that we snap blocked, used 2 pieces of equipment. I mean, technically speaking, if we want to pretend like, oh, well, the rest of their hand maybe not doesn't block. Okay, sure, whatever. The fact that there was no thing, and we know this, I believe, is a barraging beatdown. I believe this is a barraging. Or am I trolling? No. The barraging got discarded. Maybe I'm supposed to know what this card is. I don't 100% remember. But this is obviously from the KO perspective. Like, this could be like a Blood Rush Bellow. What the fuck? A Blood Rush Bellow, Art of War. They're gonna have 3 cards in hand. So maybe one of them is like an agile wind up and they go claw something else. But point being, this is something clearly they want to protect. So even though it's a air quotes 3 card hand, there might be immediate thoughts about this. And this also tells you about how they want to play the game. That they're not willing to trade this card and damage for this here, and they value their equipment block later in the game less than they do now to protect this. So these are all things you should maybe pick up on. Now, this is one thing why I talk about psychology. Hypothetically, if Kevin would like just think a moment and pause for a moment. Yeah, I'm not saying like for like 2 minutes, but like consider like look at the fan out the hand. You know, try to do some math. Like pretend like it's half a decision. I do think it is valuable. Now, like someone like me, I'm probably gonna snap block like this too, just because I don't like wasting time. But I do think there is value at a high level to try to misdirect even like 1%. But yeah, this is going to get blocked out. We're going to be arcing the swing big on the Chaos side. We do have our 3rd card in the graveyard for the Shadow Realm Horror, which we're also getting that into the graveyard. And hopefully we can keep our graveyard small so we can change Shadow Realm Horror into Shadow Realm Horror. Now, I think 6 or 7 they're fine, because obviously if you just have the 3 and then Shadow Horror, then you don't have anything else. Unless, like, in theory you break the chain, but then it's like you're breaking the chain to do what? But, we're looking pretty good. Those are the only 3 cards that can get banished. So it's going to get the plus and the go again. We're going to come in for 8 go again. Still having a card in hand, so if this is actually doesn't need to be a blue, because as long as it's any physical flesh mode card that is not a Garganian Tome, we can close. So that turn cycle, we blocked 4, 7. And we're sending back 8 plus 3 is 11, so that's just 18 value turn. Alright. block 2, block 2, block 3 is 7. Sending back 8 into this. I mean, technically, there can be anything. But, like, having an 18 min value turn, it's not too bad. Not too bad. And I don't think this is a situation where we're going to grab this. Now, obviously, the earlier I can get the brute player, like, and this is on both sides. The earlier I can get the brute player to use this, the better. This is technically a turn cycle where the helmet would be 5 value. Getting 5 value out of a single piece is pretty good, but that just puts it on par with like the crowns and all the things. And you probably would want it to be a little higher value if you're going to do it this early. So we can choose to like stuff here and wait another turn, or we can just take the 8 and go to 32, which is what it looks like. And we're probably just going to see the claw unless we want to use our arsenal card. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Hello? Alright, that was interesting. Alright, so this is what Graven. God dang, I forget the name of this card, but you can only play this if. Yeah. Graven. Oh, Graven Girl. I was gonna say Graven. But like, Graveling, Graven, it's like the same card. But this is just a 1 for 6. Pretty fucking good. This is actually pretty good. So, our offensive turn was 14 points of value going this way. And then we block 7, so this is just a 21 damage, 21 value rotation. It's pretty good. And this is like, no, and I mean no, like, blood rush bows or anything. This is just efficiency. We stopped their CNC, which actually made these, like, in theory, even more points of value because of what the CNC is attempting to do. So, like, if you want to do a fake number, you can do 24 because, like, the average card flush was 3. Yes, this is probably not going to be 3 value here, but, like, the min value is, like, 24 in this cycle. Pretty good. We like that. We like this. Good turn cycle by Kevin. And we are lining up blocks here, which is good. And we know we have swing big, so as long as we have a blue, we can just send the swing big. Sending the Bear Fangs, again, probably prioritizing as a swing big on the Butter Spell turns. And this is fine, this just gets us a Might token for free. We'll definitely take the Might token every single turn cycle that we can. This is coming in for 8, so we have a little, decent turn back. We have, what, 6 and 8? 14? Not bad. I mean, not the 21, so far, like, Levia's a lot more value, but... Ooh, taking 5 here. Did I get to see the hand? I kind of was looking away. Let me see the hand here. But I like how these two players are not pissing me off like Arthur did. Like, Arthur actually gave me AIDS when I watched his game. Okay, so we have, I think, another Showroom Horror. And then these two cards I literally can't identify. Just because, like, the angle and all that stuff. But thank you, you two, for not giving me AIDS. I feel like I took 3 years off my life, like, watching Arthur play. And, yep, good card block. This is the go-again card. Good card to block with. Also, if we can get another Showroom Horror, if we can banish this, it's pretty good. Obviously, really, really good in our Blasphemous pile. Oh, just clean. Just clean. Another Shadowrun Horror. We're fucking balling right now. We get the 3rd Shadowrun Horror. Yes, you won't be able to, like, play this one, like, immediately. But that's fine. I mean, like, this is with the Graven Claw, right? So wait, you literally just get to go that, then you get to, oh, you haven't discarded, fuck. God, just imagine if you could, like, claw into that. Oh. Yeah, it's probably just, wait, hold on. No, this needs 3 cards. Man, we're so close. We're like so accident close from just having like insane turn cycles, like back to back. I mean, this is still gonna be very, very good. But I think we probably just want to send this. It's 6 damage. The only reason you wouldn't want to is if, again, you just want to. I don't know. I just feel like you just. I feel like you just send this. Wait, is this the Levi player that made top 8? I might have just accidentally said spoil, but like, this is what 10-3. I think there might have been an X4. I think there was an X4 that made top 8. All right, we see 7 in the 6. That's 13. Dude, we're doing pretty fucking good right now. Like, this is... I'm liking this game so far. I mean, this block is kind of concerning. Because the common trope is people will block with an piece of equipment when they're about to break it. And we used no cards from hand. Block this. I didn't see the hand, but right now we have a... I want to start this also. We have a 14 life gap at the start of the turn. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, Blood Rush Bellow. That's pretty good. So the big thing, obviously, here is we know the Savage Chest is probably going to be used, which means I would like to probably counteract it with this. Like, I feel like trading Savage Chest for this is pretty good on a Blood Rush Bellow turn, but we have to kind of see what's his name? David leads off with. But we have a 14-point life gap right now. Make a Might. Sweet. Starts off with Claw for 5. So we'll start off with the points of value on this turn. So we have 6 because of the Might. We take 6. We're 29. We're going to Scabs here. Can't roll a 1. We literally cannot afford... Okay, gets 2 because he's just the GOAT, you know. We see... Ooh, we see a cast of Levi. So now we have 8. So we've immediately at least sent the difference in life. We've immediately done that. And we still have a card in Arsenal, card in hand, which we know this is swing big, so this is going to come in for 10. So this should be a 24 Blood Rush, yes? 24 damage Blood Rush turn. Now how much actually leaks? Let's find out. Oh, yes, and we see what we talked about earlier. Let's pause that real quick. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Let me back up a little bit. So, 14-point life deficit. Immediately already made up here. We, the audience, know that this is swing big. Swing big's gonna come in for 10. So what this block here does is, now you only take 6, and now it's only 12. That was actually dealt back, so you're still gonna be up 2 life here in this value, so you should be at like, what, 23? And because you took this away, we have no way of playing this Savage. Like, if we had like 1 floating, not the best way, but like in theory we could like break this and just do it for 10. I wouldn't entirely be against that, but the fact that we did counter this sash with our headpiece. Now the obvious downside is now they are the only one with the headpiece, so our like really insane turn just gets interrupted. Like we interrupted theirs. But obviously you're going to take this value because this is like what, 12 value headpiece here. You stop 10, you block 2. That's what you need out of the headpiece. Very good. I do believe I see an Art of War in hand, so we're probably going to go off here. If we can actually, while we have the lead, get him to pop his headpiece as well. I like it. Wait. Did we not take the damage? We need to take the damage stuff. Adjust the life total, Judge! Someone! Adjust the life total! There we go. My fake PTSD is looking pretty good now. Alright, we're going to start with Auto-War. We're going to banish another Shadow Realm War, okay? That Blessment file looking kind of clean. So, we start off... so the common thing in Levi, other than other decks, so most decks is always going to be like +1 That's a horrible +1, by the way. +1, draw 2. Levi, unless you're playing multiple, it's usually going to be go again, draw 2. Because there's so many you're not guaranteed to be able to play multiple actions on the turn. Like, every card in your deck doesn't have the ability to have go again. And, like, yes, in theory, you could scabs before, but if you scabs, get a 0, and then you just sit there with your Art of War, yes, you just have to get next turn, but you just wasted a whole entire turn. So you would have taken all the damage just to do nothing back. So you always just do the guaranteed go again, draw 2. Now, if you have a guaranteed way to have go again, then yeah, you can just do the +1. But we're gonna have 6 go again. We have 2 cards in the hand. Is this 1 or 2 cards? If this is 1 card, I don't really want to use Headpiece. If it's 2 cards, I don't mind using Headpiece because then you could put them in a weird spot. But we're just taking the 6 as the KO player into... Oh, is this the one where you can only play if you've banished a card this turn? I believe that's what that is. Oh, it's the one that it can't be modified. Wait, no, that's fucking Numbskull. This is just 6 if someone's been putting your advantage on, otherwise it's 0. I knew it. I knew it. So we're blocking. We're just being efficient here. Blocking 5 will take 1, so this is like what, 7 damage on our Art of War turn that was dealt to us. It's not, and that is not impressive, really. Oh, and what did we give up? A card from hand and 2 blocking equipment. We get a Might token back, so now we'll have 2. I am really scared for Kevin. I think this could be the turn where David actually takes the life lead. Because like, Kevin needed a better Art of War turn than this. We just needed a better Art of War turn than this. And like, we didn't have a good Art of War turn, and it's not even because our opponent didn't break Headpiece. Well, this is paining me. I don't know if I'm supposed to... I just don't remember what this is. And it's like paining me. Alright, we're gonna see Wild Ride come in. We're gonna see 2 floating. Again, we don't have that piece interrupt anymore, so at bare minimum, as long as one of these is a blue, we can throw Claw plus that and Arsenal still. There's a ton of opportunities. Is that a blue? That's a blue that's got discarded. So if you have a red, you can show the Swing Big. If you have a blue, you can throw Claw Swing Big. Which, if I can throw Claw Swing Big, I'm kind of chilling. Alright, we're going to see 4 block come out of Kevin here. We're going to take 4. Yeah, this is 100% Kevin's getting the life lead. Oh, we're breaking the chain. What was the reason we broke the chain? Wait. I mean, it probably doesn't actually matter, but like, why? Whatever. Because like, if everyone said just break the chain, I was like, wait, is he like playing? Does he have gas bombs? I don't know. But yeah, so we can do Claw and Swing Big. So we're gonna go to 16, and then throw Swing Big for 8. We're gonna go to 8. This is exactly what the KO needed. The Vi has 1 unimpressive turn. Finally has an unimpressive turn, and we just immediately smash her. Pause. So we're gonna evaluate here. So we do have options if we are Kevin. If we can block enough to force Blasmafet, our Blasmafet pile is pretty good. So like, what we can block? We can block what, 7 here? No, that's too much. So we need to take 2, I think, because we have to have Blood Debt tick us into Blasmafet. Oh wait, so if we just block with Karen Husk here, we take 2, go to 14. We get to play our turn. But the issue is, like, if you just get rid of Blood Debt yourself, not great. Maybe you just have to okay, hold on. Maybe you give cards. Maybe you give like 2 cards from your hand. Claw. And then transform. The issue being is you're going to give KO another turn with tempo, and KO still has a shit ton of armor block. But it's maybe you don't need Blasphemous. Maybe you just don't need Blasphemous, and I'm like coping too hard and thinking that we need it in this situation. Maybe it's fine. But I believe I would believe that's the only reason we're looking at our Banner Stone here is if we want to turn to Blasphemous. And we see a 6 block look like it's being lined up here. Yep. 6 block. We're going to go to 14. And most likely we're going to see Blood Debt not turned off. But the issue is, like, we can't... That's the one issue with, like, this mirror that we're in right now. Is we successfully will turn into... Unless we just get around Reckless Swinged here. We do successfully get to turn into Blasphemous. Assuming he's running. I'm not even sure he's running it. It'd be pretty awkward he's just not running. He just doesn't even transform. But like seeing this play makes the most sense. It's like we are taking technically another turn off. We're just swing for 4. We can take him to 10. But like, does he care? Because he just has a full grip. And again, we still have a full set of armor suite where, oh yes, we technically have more individual pieces. Like this eventually can go away by force. So like KO can literally force when it is actually used, which yes, while you're still going to be able to extract the value, if your opponent's dictating where you get the value from your equipment piece, it's not very good. The most important equipment piece in the game is still this headpiece. It's still the headpiece, it's not even close. So yet again, I'm getting concerned for Kevin. The hope is like the KO does not have an impressive turn back. We see Swing Big CNC looks like. Oh, is that 3 reds, 1 yellow? I think that's what that turn looks like. 3 reds, 1 yellow. Hey, put that down. You know what that card does, mister. Just kidding. Not every little plays it, so I'm just being a little jokester. It's all good. So if it is the turn I believe, and it's 3 reds, 1 yellow, this might be Kevin's hope. I believe as long as we have a single blue and we get 2 action points off of Scabs, we probably just close this game out either not this turn, because obviously we're just going to get stuffed with Husk. But we're going to get stuffed with Husk, but I think we can still leak some damage. So these cards will go face down. And we will continue. Plasma Fed is pretty fucking dangerous, so... And fatigue is not really an option at this point, so... This is just gonna be a slug these next 2 turn cycles. But David has a full grip, he has tempo. Let's see if the Scab plays off for him. If it's a 0, this could just be game losing. It's a 5, it's 2 action points, so this should save the hand, if the hand structure is what I believe. Probably gonna see a Sash Pop here, if it's a 3 reds, 1 yellow. Even if it's... I think because you have 2 action points, I think if you can draw a discard with any of these cards, I think you pop Sash so you can like attack, claw and attack. I think you want to at least go 3 wide this turn. And we do see the Sash pop. And we see the Swing Big for, this is going to be 9. It's going to be 9. Air quotes go again, but wait, it's 9, right? Yeah, okay. So that's going to be a perfect block from the God, that's so good. But this is what we talked about. Is we still... What are they... Wait, what? Does he not... Hello? Oh, the comment chain hasn't closed, sure. I mean, yeah, technically, yes, like, the comment chain, I'm just put the fucking quick and token there. It's fine. It's fine. Ooh, CNC. Alright, gets to keep a card. So, this is really good. Is this the same card that's been in Arsenal, by the way? Wait, hold on. Is this... Enhance. Is this Iva video? Oh, shit. Oh, wait, that's so smart. Wait, so off of your Art of Wars and your Butter Spells, you get to just... Because, like, the big thing is you want to, like, draw at least a blue. I mean, depending on the hand structure, you might need 2 blues, but, like, as long as you have a blue, you're probably chilling. Maybe 2 blues because of the Blasphemous pile. But you can just control it. Oh, wait, that's so good, actually. Just get to, like, filter. I mean, it's other another block. You die half of the time from having no blocks in your deck anyway, so, like, what's one more? I like that. Now we get to see how important this card is. And Arsenal, we get to see. This is where obviously he wishes he had Husk. But... Oh. What are we pointing at? What are we... Wait, what's being... What? Okay. Okay, is this what was put in their turn 1? Surely not, right? I'm gonna pretend it wasn't, because that would trigger the fuck out of me. Alright, so we see 3 block, taking 3 from this, losing the thing, so we're gonna be on 10? 10 versus 12? Or we have like a 3 card hand? And a cooking token? Obviously the Boston Fat Pile is gonna do a lot of work here, but I wonder, because this is a blue, we should have been okay going to 7. 7 versus 10. I wonder. Again, we're gonna have to see what is because I know he has Eye. That's the only card I know he has. What are we looking at? Wait, do you not know what Blossom does or what? Alright, we're gonna see the Eye. So we're gonna come for 6 go again. We're gonna have 2 floating. We have new cards in hand. No cards in hand? Okay. This is definitely a turn of all time. I believe there's a Gravenclaw in there, right? So we can swing 6 instead of 3. Yeah, with this turn not being as impressive, I do kind of understand why we blocked, but I wonder if we just had another blue here. I mean, actually, no, this actually makes sense, because it was always, if we had another card, he was just going to get blocked with that piece. Yeah, so never mind. No, this all makes sense. This all makes sense. And we just, oh. Does this not cost mana? Was that really the best thing that we could have done? I mean, it might just been the highest damage card. There may not be a higher damage card in there, which then makes this play fine because we present like true lethal. So we get blocked out by David. The important thing is we still have headpiece. Like the longer we keep this headpiece, our chances of winning just keep shooting up. Because the more, because let me actually see here. How many cards do we have? 3 cards, right, from David? Before I say this, I want to make sure. I believe we have 3 cards. Okay, yeah. So the more cards that Kevin attempts to keep means the more damage he's going to have to take, which means he's gonna be way more susceptible to this. Now, if Kevin chose to just play like a mid-range game and like play on 2 card hands, I think he could maybe win out because of Blasphemous, because he can, in theory, block with more cards and then play with an extra card in hand, in theory. So in theory, he could actually block 9. And then if he has go again, and he keeps 2 cards in if he has go again. Wait, no, never mind. What I said was not true. I'm sorry. I was gonna say he can go again in the clause. Not how the card works. But the overarching point being is the more damage we send this way, and the more that Kevin tries to keep in hand to try to keep sending lethal at this, the better this card's going to get. So if Kevin wants to turn the game into let's both block with 2 to 3 cards in our hand, he technically always has an extra card there for however many cards are in this pile. He could try to win that way. That probably has to be his access. Because there's just no shot you can ever have another big turn because of this headpiece. It just won't happen. Sending 6 over. That's really good. We have 1 block and armor. So, oh, it's a blood rush. Okay. So let's think here. Let's do a little thing. So I believe there is 1 swing big in there. So and that's what we want to do. We want to do the maximum amount of damage. So we go 6 into 8. That's 14. That's a lot. So we could block 2 cards here, and then he swings 8, and then we're technically not dead. We could like block here, and we would go to 1, right? Because we block there. No, sorry, we go to 3. We're out of reckless swing range. That's what the purpose was. So then we will have 3. Let's see, 2 cards in hand. Access to this zone. So are these blood marauders? We know this is the go again. We know this is Shadow Realm Horror. It's these 2 metal cards. I'm kind of unsure with what they are. If any of them cost 1, let's see here. Obviously, we would need a blue. Let me think here. Scabsing is fine. It's just so awkward, actually. It's just so awkward. Because, like, every single thing that we want to do can just get shut down by the headpiece if we want to do multiple actions. I think David actually might win this, actually. No, I'll say that's thinking this is, if it's just like claw afterward, entirely different story. If it's just claw, like, yes, I'll happily go to 7. And this is where we do see the fact that Kevin didn't go to 7 earlier, because he would be on 7 now, and then this would be taking him to technically 1, and the next card is actual lethal, so like now he's just kind of clapped. But in this spot, we can definitely block 6 here. And if it's anything besides Swing Big or Bear Fangs or something like that, and we don't have 8 presented, I like our spot. But if it is 8 presented, then we're kind of in trouble. So like that's gonna be the big question mark here. And also that's assuming Kevin wants to give cards on this. He could like do something cute, like give a 3 block here. Or give the 1 block. Okay, yep, we see the Scabskins block here, yep. And then we see Yellow Bear Fang, so we're coming in for 7. So, if we give a single card here, take 4. We go to 1. Yes, yeah, we go to 1. So, 2 cards would be a 6 block. We take 1. We go to 4, which is a fine spot. In theory, we could actually block this out. We could actually block this out if we wanted to. And then just play from our thing, because all of these cards tell him to at least give us a card, but the obvious issue is he just has Scab, so he's technically on 7, which is like kind of painful. This is where like having no blocks, not having blues in hand on either side can just be game losing. Because like obviously Kevin would love to play this Blood Rush spells, but he just can't now. I mean, he can. It just comes with a large risk. If he wants to play to win, he can block with a single card and just say, if you draw the Reckless, you draw the Reckless. If he wants to play it, say... Oh. What? Wait, why are we adjusting damage? Damage just didn't get calculated. Okay, cool. So we're going to block 6 and 7, take 1, go to 4. We're going to play it a little bit safer. Oh, we had to go again in our hand. Oh, this is going to be so good if one of these 2 wins costs 1. So this is going to be lethal. This is one of the few ways we can't play around this is because this was from hand. I feel like I already seen the 3rd copy, but maybe I didn't see the 3rd copy. So that's why I didn't even consider it. Honestly, let me pause here. Actually, especially compared to last game, this has been a very good game to watch. I've actually enjoyed watching this game. I think both players have been playing like the risk versus reward game heavy. Like we seen just David taking a bunch of damage for seemingly small gains early, but now it paid off heavily. And the restraint of not blocking with this has been awesome. You seen Kevin absolutely just take advantage when he had tempo and absolutely just hammer him. But obviously, again, the risk reward is taking a bunch of damage as David put him for a spot where if Kevin just didn't have a one bad turn, he probably is like out of this game. And the risk of like when we blocked as Kevin, and just the risk of playing Levi in general. We see both sides kind of like sowing good seeds, reaping good flowers. I'm actually so I was doing a lot of analysis at the start of this game, but like I'm actually just genuinely intrigued. This game is actually genuinely intriguing me, and this is the one cost that we thought we seen, and this might be another one. So this should pull more cards. I believe this is also 6. So block with here, we would take 4, we would die. You could block with here, we would still die. So the best spot here, I in my opinion, is since we can't do anything with this. Like I would just X this out. Is actually hold on, let me actually I was gonna say I would just not use but how important is it to swing here? Because if you just swing claw, if you just swing claw at them, they can just give you a card. Take 1, go 3. They're still not in reckless swing range. Is this a 2 block? Oh, this is a 2 block anyway. Yoikers. So here's the big issue that we also actually have. Like now, and who I keep thinking is going to win this game keeps going back and forth. So we just block with what looks to be a 2 and a 3 block. We block 5 on this 6. Take 1, go to 2. Now we're dead. Now we're dead to reckless swing if we have it. But then we're doing nothing back, and we're just asking the Levi to draw an all red hand. But even an all red hand, we can do this into well. I guess if it's all red, we're kind of cooked, right? But as long as there's a resource card, like at least a yellow, and it doesn't get like intempt off of this, we just get to throw another 6 and like win the game. Oh wow, we're actually just asking for a lot of things to go right for KO. Like having the 6 go again in hand just like changed literally everything. If it's not a go again card. And the big thing is we didn't have to risk using scab skin leathers here. We got to just naturally just do this. And it was perfect because we also had the one. Like, that's the other thing. We had a 2 into a 1. That's so massive. But we're going to block 4. We're going to go to 1. We're saying if we're dead to reckless, we're dead to reckless. We need to have the best turn possible. First of that turn is just claw. Like, it's just claw. Oh, no, that's not even claw. Oh, we're just telling our live opponent to have it. I don't know. This dude's bald, bro. I've never seen a bald dude not have it. And I see a couple 2 blocks in the hand. Yeah, I believe this is the end of the game. Yeah. So at bare minimum, we're gonna have 6. This is going to have to be met with headpiece and probably still 2 cards from hand. Because we need him to not be able to do anything else. But if he's able to do anything else, it's at least claw, so he's at least presenting 9. When we have known 2 blocks in hand. This is... I guess into that could be blue, but I doubt it's blue. Please don't unironically be blue. Okay, it is 6. Yeah, we're blocking with headpiece, though, right? We're blocking with headpiece. Block with the 2 block. Block with 3 block and block with headpiece. You overblock a little bit, but you prevent him from being able to possibly do as much. Especially if his hand is choked on resources if he loses a card. Oh, barraging. Oh, wait, how many cards? Wait. Wait, that's just game. This is literally just game. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I am not exaggerating when I say that is one of the better games of Flesh and Blood I've watched when it comes to Brute being involved. Usually, Brute games, I'm just like Resident Sleep or whatever. They probably just run over or get ran over. But like this, even though it was like a 20-minute game, was still very back and forth of who had advantage. We seen people who would take some very calculated box, and again, it was that risk versus reward that I talked about. It's like both players played on an edge and could have easily lost the game if just 1% or 2% went the other person's way. Like this was a great game to watch, and I think we learned a lot from a brute perspective how we can especially attack the brute mirror. Wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. Well, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, and subscribe down below. Make sure you hit that comment. I need it. I see you right there. I'm actually going to talk to you real quick, the person watching this right now. Why don't you comment? I know you want to see a specific person have their stuff broke down, or I know you want to see a specific matchup. The only way you can see that is if you tell me down below. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe as well. It's been your boy Cypher from Cypher TCG. Actually, one more thing before I leave. That person, same person watching, thank you for watching. I don't thank you guys enough for being here with my subscriber count. The fact that I don't advertise a ton like I used to, but I still have you guys coming all the time, watching the VODs. I see a lot of people tell me they watch the VODs. People that come to live stream. I appreciate all of you. Like I said, it's been your boy Cypher from Cypher TCG. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Alright. Sweet. I have you on the other one while I play some Terra. Oh yeah, I can update my Terra deck now, right? Actually, I know Ed Knight has a Terra deck that he. Who the fuck is this? Oh yeah. Where's it at? Live stream decks. Where the is live stream decks at? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so this is Ed's Terra deck. And then we can compare it with mine. Obviously, his, I believe, is probably after the cards came out. Mine's, like, way before. Oh, I literally already have a copy of it. Let's see, where's mine at? Terra. This is Specterra. Okay, so this list was immediately after we knew what the hero was. We did change it a little bit because I originally had with obviously Crown and all stuff, blah blah blah. But Crown was officially banned in Blitz because like for some reason it wasn't in February, so I thought it wasn't banned. But then Narco came out and said it was banned, so I was like, wait, was it not banned before? I don't personally know, but this list was made to be very consistent, playing a lot of 2-card hands. Be able to consistently get that Terra proc to get the Might token. It felt very, very good. It felt very, very good to play. Looking at Eds, I actually haven't got to look at the deep dive Eds. So, the new card, obviously, Redwood Hammer. This is going to be a 3 for 4. Wait. I guess with this, you are missing one. It's what needs to be 3 cost. So, CNC misses. Wait, what's all missing here? I mean, I guess these are cards you would pitch, right? I mean, I feel like these are getting turned on like the same amount, but I guess technically speaking, as long as you just have an Earth card, nothing matters. Maybe he has like cards that wouldn't fulfill Titan's Fist. Oh, he's on Pommel. Oh, I guess, yeah, he's using some of the new cards. So, let's see. He's on no Autumn's Touch? Oh, he's just on blue Autumn's Touch. Okay. CNC, he's on CNC. Oh, I guess I can just do the compare thing, but yeah, I don't want to. Concuss. Is not Concuss? He's only on. Oh, wait, this is mine. God dang it. Alright. Mine, his. Mine. I'm on. Oh, I'm not on Concuss. Oh, I'm not on Concuss Red. Oh, yeah, I took out Concuss Red. I remember. I remember now. These on Concuss. Disable, Pommel, Spinal. Yeah, I have a lot more. Yeah, so mine's a little more. I want to say efficient than his, and has like some diversity on hits. Let's see. Canopy Shoulder, so this is a new card. When this defends, create a Might token. Right, tip. Don't put this in Arsenal. Oh, okay, that's cool. And then this is Flourish. The next time an attack would gain power this turn, instead it gains that much +2. Oh, okay. Hold on, this cooks. Okay, I don't hate this list. So let me actually see, since I'm here now. Is it TER? Is this? No, god dang, what is this from? Yeah, TER, what? Oh, let's type in Earth Guardian. Oh. Oh wait, is this a one-handed hammer? Oh shit. Oh shit, it's a one-handed. I mean, I guess, what the fuck else would it be, I guess? In this case, I think I want to change some of my blues. Actually, nah, do I need to? I can probably, like, switch out Staunch. How many Earth cards do I have? Will this tell me? This should tell me. No, it doesn't tell me. Cool, sweet, nice, amazing. Alright, see how many Earth cards do I have? 16. I wish I had more than that. Let me just look at this. So, what red does it add on? He's just on CNC Concuss, Disable, Spinal. That's not a ton. We're not beating Wizard anyway. I can actually just forgo some of this. I mean, it is AB3, so I'll win one. Maybe it's a little hard for them, well, specifically like Blaze to punch through. Yeah, we'll cope a little bit longer, even though we definitely shouldn't be coping. Oh, yeah, I was on this too. Is he on Tunic as well? He's on Tunic as well. He's on Tunic Plating, so I think I can get the proc a little bit more often of Might. So what I can possibly do... Oh, Flourish comes in multiple colors? Oh, it's just yellow and blue, probably. Oh, probably like the other deck, sure. So Ed is on this, though. To block 2, creates a Might token. Not a major fan of that. Flourish, maybe. Flourish, I'm not actually entirely against. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll take out the yellow of this. We'll add in Flourish. Is he on Tome or anything? He is on Tome. It ups the Earth density. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda like Staunch here. I mean, maybe Turn Timber's just enough. But it feels really nice to just pitch a blue and block 6. I mean, I guess it's just 2 card blocking. Whatever. I'll talk myself out of it. Well, I guess in my deck, do I even use Tome that well? Like, what am I toming for? So I tome, I have 2 cards in hand, I tome, I draw 3, I just cycle 3? Doesn't seem super impressive. Pretty sure I do want the card to be blue. Let me see here. Maybe it's just tome for... Maybe it's just tome for the Earth density? What's his, let me see what his Earth count is. His Earth count is 18. Mine is now. What is mine now? 16. So if I had 2, I'll be on par. I'll be on par with him. Maybe because I have a lot of cards I don't actually want to Arsenal, Peace of Mind gets a little bit worse. Yeah, we'll take out Peace of Mind. Let's go back to Earth. Am I still? Yes, I am. I just hear like a buzzing in the background. Oh, I think it's slowly because my fan's on. Oh, that means the whole entire fucking video was probably, Oh, that's not very good. Thrive. If an attack would gain power of starting gains that much +1. It's just wait, who the fuck? Bro, I thought that was some. I I thought that was some for a second. I want to talk about it. An Earth Block 3 would be pretty good. I think these are Earth Block 3s. Jesus Christ. Fuck it. It's 3 value, whatever. And it synergizes a lot with the deck. I think, like I said, it's literally what I'm asking for. It's just not the card specifically that I want. And to be on theme, we'll be on theme here. I mean, it's not likely to miss. I guess, in theory, I have a few worlds where it misses. Because I have 4 misses here. Nah, it's just gonna be Titan Twist. Actually, hold on. Because this doesn't proc either. So actually, it's gonna only have 2 misses. Oh no, 4. It's still 4. I just didn't count this before. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it. It's just gonna be Titan Twist. Yeah, I'm not through with all the 2 blocks. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I wanna be real with you, Chief. Earthler Surge would be interesting as like the one super aggressive option. I don't hate him playing Pummel though. I don't hate Pummel. He's on Macho as well. The fuck is this? Like a seismic surge if you fuse it. Wait, this has to be bad. Am I slow? If you fuse it, get a seismic surge. If you next ending, destroy this next. Wait, this is. Wait, this is not good. I mean, so like the seismic surge, like in theory, just one resource, but it could save you an entire card. So like, let me just say, I'll just say it's 4, but like a 2 for 4 is not good unless specifically. No, I feel like there has to be a better card. Well, there are spots obviously where that card can like cook. There has to be something better. There just ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. I don't hate bloater drop. Well, this wasn't even supposed to be part of the stream. I don't even know why I'm doing this right now. I'm be real with you. Actually, it could just be Macho, to be honest. Yeah, it'll just be Macho. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's the new deck. Alright. Oh, shit. I was trying Iron Hyperstormer combo, but Tariff was very blue heavy and I was having a hard time paying plus walking for proc. Blue Shark. Pretty sure half the Earth Blues are just here. Yes, I do agree. Thrive is fun with fire breathing. Oh, yeah, Thrive. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Night is off the thump. Yeah, Night also fell off. I remember I said that to someone, and they took me like giga serious. And they're like, "Hey, there's this guy like talking trash about you." And he's like, "Who is it?" It's like, "This is Siphon Guy." They show a picture of my deck, my Victor deck, and it's just called Ed Knight Total. And he's like, "Oh, it's just Siphon. He's just trolling." Okay, so next thing that we're doing, I actually have to I got to hide some information real quick because I posted something in a chat just so I could fetch a lyric. I didn't feel like saving it to anything. Give me 1 second. Oh, also someone messaged me. Sweet. I got a coaching session tomorrow as well. Might actually stream the coaching session. Not sure. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Wait, why can I not edit this one? What? Not slow? Huh. Well, okay then. I'll just go off myself. That's weird. Okay. Well, I'm not actually able to edit this list, but, alright, Alright, this will be another list. This will be introducing them to Flesh and Blood. And, like, becoming a competitive player. Like, what are the best heroes? So that'll be this list. So we'll click record again, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Cypher from Cypher TCG, and I'm back with another tier list video. What will today's tier list be? Today's tier list will be, if you have a new player, what would be the best decks to start them off on and get them to learn the game? Now, while technically, yes, every single deck teaches some amount of fundamentals. That is inarguable. But some decks do it better than others, and some decks actually just play on an entirely different axis that is just not something a player will start on. Like, for example, I'm just going to start off on the first one. Kano, I don't like teaching new people Kano. Even if a person has played combo decks in the past, like I played combo decks in every single game I've ever played, and understanding Kano, even after people repeatedly tell me what to do, it was difficult because there's just a different way you have to watch and see the game when you're on Kano. So obviously I'll go in depth, but that's kind of where where would Kano be? Kano be like right here, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go hero by hero, and we're gonna do this very simple. So Arachne, where does Arachne place in new player friendly? I don't think Arachne is too detrimental for new people, but I don't actually think you should be putting a new player on it. The reason why, because yes, the hero ability is very consistent, does exactly one thing. Whenever you play a card with contract, you look at the top card and you may put it on top or bottom. So what does it teach you? It teaches you card synergies. It tells you exactly how to build the deck. The deck literally says, the hero text says, play contract cards. So you just fill your deck with the best contract cards you can, and the cards that can support the contract. But the hero ability specifically, you have to understand not only just the game of Flesh and Blood first, then you have to understand the hero. Then you have to understand how your hero plays into their hero and how their player like. There's so many different dimensions and stuff you have to look at when it comes to how a hero plays out. That's just too much information I have to take in. Even though I think in CC, Arachne is actually not as hard of a hero than the other ones, I actually would rather play the other assassins, teach new people other assassins than I would teach Arachne. Azalea. So this kind of goes one of two ways. I actually don't think Azalea is too difficult to learn. I do think that understanding ratios, understanding individual arrow value can be kind of difficult. I think in general, as long as the person you're teaching can understand like arrows can only be shot from there, and you give them a very lean deck, a very low cost curve deck, I don't think it'll be that bad. Like the hardest thing you'll have to learn is when to hold back a pump, pitch stacking if they have to, what arrows to get off of knock. But because they can get some ranger hands and what to do with those, how to play into something like Warmongers, yeah, that would be like the only hurdle. Like I said, that only takes it to like an A rather than like S. I think on ironically it's actually close to being S. I think people when they watch this might over exaggerate how hard Azalea is to play at the lowest level. Because again, this is taking someone from doesn't understand Fab and then teaching them the game. This is not the easiest decks in the format to play. This is taking someone new and teaching them. Betsy. Betsy is bad, but I don't think Betsy's hard. Because the things that they need to learn with Betsy is when to take a setup turn and resource management. When do you take a turn where you block a little bit, play an aura? And when do you and how do you deck build have enough resources to consistently overpower something? And Guardian will teach you the fundamentals of the game. Like Guardian is like one of the quintessential flush decks that new players should be playing. Actually, I'm gonna put Betsy next year, like legit. I can't think of me sitting down with like a Blitz Betsy or like a C or like a mid low power CC Betsy deck and explaining the game mechanics to a player and explaining Betsy's specific game mechanics, and it take more than like 3 to 4 games for them to be like, okay, I'm starting to understand it now. I just don't see it being that difficult. Bolton. Where does Bolton lie? Bolton is interesting because you are learning another unique mechanic of charge. And at its surface, charge is really bad. Charge is just natural card disadvantage. Most people say, well, my card says I need to pay 0 and I get to just throw it. Yes. But now you'd be like, okay, do I need to charge? What effect do I get when it charges? How relevant is that effect? Is it worth blocking with extra cards and just sending it by itself to do it? Or should I take some damage so I can charge, so I can get this effect? Because also a Bolton ability. I think um, just people just seeing Luminous and want to slam it down immediately. That always doesn't work. So I think there are some intricacies to Bolton. I don't think it's like impossible to cheat someone. Bolton. I mean, I think the army deck has been working out just fine with new players, but there can be a slight bit of tension there. Where there's not tension is Bravo. I'm already gonna put Bravo in S. Just like Betsy, you learn attacking and blocking, just like technically every deck does that. But like there will be sometimes where Azalea is just like I'm only playing on one side of the table, or something. There will be other decks that play on one side of the table, and then they have to do some tricky stuff where it's like I'm going to throw these really big attacks. I'm like, it's not like go again. Like decks with go again, they have to evaluate different things. I'm probably sending exactly one attack a turn. It's just what attack am I throwing? How much am I blocking? Ooh, this probability is really interesting. When is it important to do that? I think these are things that can be very, very easily taught. Very easily taught. I think you can give someone literally a flow. You can make up a flow chart within 5 minutes of how to play Bravo, and you can have a new person playing Bravo. Like 90% of the new people at my locals, Bravo is one of the decks I always point them towards. Even though I'm a personal hater of Bravo, I cannot deny his accessibility to new players. Dash. I think Dash is actually. So it kind of depends. So here's the issue with Dash. If you want to throw together like a current Dash deck, like the one that Arsenal Pass did, I think that's easily new player friendly because you just say, hey, don't block, just send every attack you play, just send it and boost every single time, unless you can't play a different card. Cause I literally did that with a family friend. He came over the house and I was like, okay, you're playing against he was playing against one. I was like, you're going to say no blocks every single turn, and you're just going to dump your hand on the table. And he won that game. It was just boost dash. So if we're talking about just straight boost dash, easily yes. But because it has the possibility of being hybrid or control dash, I think those decks slightly bump it down. I don't think it bumps it down too much to B because because hybrid dash is just gonna be like boost dash, and the control dash, it's very very hard at a high level to play control dash. But I think just you can generically tell someone block 9, put a counter pistol, put a counter chamber, shoot it, unless you have another item and you just play that item. Or you have a 6 power attack and you send that. You can just kind of tell people that. But because because control dash has to sometimes trade life for board state, sometimes they can't even block, and sometimes resources matter a lot. It knocks it back a little bit, but again, I think it's easy enough, mostly because of boost dash, to at least put an A. Dorinthia, I think, is another hero that goes in S. Because, just like the Guardians teach you every aspect, but even teaches you a third hidden aspect. So while reactions technically are an aspect, they're not an attack reactions are not a common aspect. But as the deck that uses attack reactions besides Assassin the best, and the way you use the attack reactions, you're never trying to. It can teach you mind games. It teaches you mind games. It teaches you resource management. Uh, it teaches you forcing people to block, put people in situations where they want to block, and then you can go over the top of the reaction. You can build the deck very defensive. I mean, heck, unlike control dash and all that stuff, I think Axe Dorinthia is piss easy to understand. And half of the work's done for you because you get to just sit down and be like, I don't know how this game works, but your blocking sucks. And they're like, well, I have this axe here that, just says you go eat shit. Now, yes, hybrid Dorinthia, you can almost knock it down. But the fact that 2/3 of the archetypes of Dorinthia are very, very easy to understand and teaches you multiple aspects of the game, I think also puts it in S. I mean, she's also one of the quintessential heroes you put new players on. Illusionist, D tier. Do not start anyone off with illusionist. Just don't. You have to understand way too many aspects of the game. You have to understand way too many aspects of deck building, turn-to-turn math, value, on hits, blocking. It's it's just no. You just I think you're actively sabotaging someone's career if you start them off with illusionist. Unless you know for a fact, and they for a fact, you're gonna start them off with illusionist, and they're gonna play illusionist until like they like die, or it's like been 8 months and they finally want to play another hero. But then they have illusionist brain, and then we see how that works out for a lot of people. You're just asking the player for too much. That's the same thing with Enigma. You're asking the player for way too much. When they're new, again, even experienced TCG players will struggle. Dude, veteran TCG players struggle with illusions. What is a new player going to do with this type of hero? Just don't. Fi, piss easy. I mean, Fi is the quintessential budget deck as well. So it's like twofold. You just tell your opponent every single hand that you have, dump your hand, throw your sword, throw your weapon sometimes. The hardest thing is to remember to put a Phoenix on your graveyard. That's it. This is another hero where we put a lot of new players on Fi. But it's just like, hey, just put your hand on the table and see who wins. Kano's a fucking D tier. Please don't teach a new player this. I don't care if they play combo decks for 20 years. I don't care if they say they're only ever going to play Kano. To understand Kano, you need to also understand how the opponent's going to be playing. Just like Assassin, you need to understand a certain level of things in Flesh and Blood before you can play Kano. Now, yes, technically, you can just say, here's the math on Kano. Here, you go fish with Kano for 2 hours a day, they can probably get to a decent speed. But to get them up to a certain speed where they can probably take down like a ProQuest or something, or even do really well in armies if you just want to back it up a little bit, this is too much to ask in my opinion. Kasai. I think Kasai is probably around Bolton. Where, on the surface, you can generically say, hey, here's the cards, they're very simple. But because you're a dual-wielding warrior, because you also play with the graveyard, you also have to manage your copper and gold, there's just a lot of things you have to look at. And, like, the equipment in Kasai versus Bolton is like, you have grains. When am I supposed to play in the grains? When am I supposed to play in the bracers? I have this like dynamo thing. I have to make sure if I'm blocking with it, I can swing twice, no matter what. It's just there's a lot of extra things to add onto there, but I don't think it's too hard to get someone that starts off in Kasai up to speed. It's just I think there's like this is close to be just because of the simplicity, but you don't have to actively learn the other player's deck as much as this, so that's why like these are a little higher than this. Katsu. The deck has combo in it. There's shit ton of combo lines. When are you supposed to do one? When do you block? When do you bluff something? There's just a lot going on here. I don't think Katsu is a very new player friendly deck. Like I remember my first ever Flesh and Blood deck that was actually CC legal. Was Katsu, and I remember all I did when I first started playing was I would go like Kadachi, another attack, and then pray it didn't hit so I didn't have to make a decision. Even though I knew all the combo lines. It's just like, hey, what if you have two different starters in your hand? Which one's better? And it's like, yes, as a veteran card game player, veteran Flesh and Blood player, we're like, obviously you just do this because of this. It's like, well, yes. Once you're at a certain level, it becomes obvious in a snap decision, but we have to think about a new player who doesn't even know half the cards in the game do. And then they have to understand, okay, if I have this, I can get this, which does this, which hopefully I have the ability to also play this. And then it's like, okay, they also have to discard cards. Okay, what's the best card to discard if there's multiple zeros in my hand? When do I swing my Kadachis and just take like a slower turn? When do I break my arm piece? Is it the first time I can get an on hit? When do I break Breeze Rider Boots? I think there's a lot more things that go on. Now, thankfully, I think Ninja has a decent amount of people that can get you up to speed. Like I'll tell you, like TCG Talk was someone that I watched when I was super new, and I learned a lot from TCG Talk. If I'm being completely honest, um, I would have to go back and see how much that stuff opens up today. I mean, I would hope it. I would hope it's evergreen, right? But if it was, like, if it wasn't for a butt ton of videos telling me all that stuff, and it was just like, hey, your one night a week that you come to locals, we'll teach you. We'll play like 3 or 4 rounds, and then we go home. I just don't think you have enough time. Especially if someone's like trying to curate all of the info and they're trying to like pack all the info. Like, yes, I can sit down next to you and help you like goldfish the deck or play the deck, but it's like when someone's actively making a video, like and anyone making the video, actually curating things at like the level that you need, I think that's a much better help. So I think some people might think, oh, Koch is super easy, but like you probably got to watch videos, and it's also been out for like a million fucking years. So there's a lot of people that can probably curate enough stuff. But like every hero doesn't do like you don't have uh, like a dash, right? Like you have like Tekla Foundry and then like me back in the day, but like there's not a ton more like dash players. And those are two sub archetypes where like there's a bunch of people that play like Ninja. There's a bunch of people that play Ninja. Like Ninja is a very very popular class. So there's probably a lot of people that can get you up to speed on Katsu. KO I think is fairly simple. The KO armory deck I think also shows that where the most difficult part of the deck is resource management, and it's not fatiguing yourself. But I think as long as you build it properly, you probably have enough damage in deck to not do that, unless you're against a defensive deck. So yeah, it's just learn resource management, and that's kind of it. Where these heroes don't really have to learn resource management, where KO does. Like, okay, I have a blue in hand, 3 reds. What's the best way? Or my resource card's a yellow. What does that change? Do I dump resources into a claw this turn? Am I dumping resources into all action cards? Like, what exactly am I doing with the scabskin leathers or something? When do I block with my headpiece? It's like there's some decent amount of stuff to think about, but I don't think those individual things are entirely hard to understand. It's just getting that player to a base where they can understand it. You could almost put them up here. Almost you could, but I think these have enough differences to. I think these are different enough to get them like slightly above. I would say if KO. Let me think. Partially, I do have a few other thoughts on KO, and I was debating like, do I add it on or just go to the next hero? I do think one of the random plus sides of KO that is normally a downside, but it's actually a plus side for a new player is some of the cards don't block. So because some of the cards don't block, they have less actual blocking decisions than the average player does, and some even block too. Obviously, where that's a downside is like learning critical blocks kind of is less because you have less cards you can critically block with, and depending on what those cards that you have that don't block are on your turn, maybe you don't have an impressive turn, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. I think it's safely an A, probably high A. These aren't in no order, by the way. There's as I'm doing it, and they're going in certain tiers. Leviat, super hard. Like, dude, veteran flesh and blood players can barely play this deck. Don't. Why would you ask a new person to? Simple as that. Max, I think is decent. Like, the hardest thing to do is managing your hyperdrivers and all that stuff. Which, if you're not going for suit, is much easier. But if you're going for suit, it can get a little bit hard. Because then you have to mix in like not boosting sometimes and blocking even when it might not be necessary. just so you're being more efficient with your hand. Oh, when I equip suit, do I just start boosting? Do I wait for Octane? Do I wait for a twin drive? Like, what am I? Do I wait for something? Could I just fatigue myself? What do I do if I boost away my mech suits? They add a little bit an extra layer of difficulty, but I don't think it's like a deal breaker. I think you could probably hand a new person to max deck, vaguely explain it. They'll probably have a little bit of trouble, but I think they'll be okay. Similar to like the decks in the same tier. New is interesting. New is actually kind of interesting. I'm unsure because early in the video, I'm actually just going to pull both assassins here. Early in the video, I stated that I would rather teach a new person one of the other two assassins than Arachne. Because Arachne needs a large basis of knowledge of how the game works. But then I was thinking, like, well, even if they are like easier, are they even like that much easier? Because for new, it's understanding like, okay, what am I bluffing? Because new is a lot of like mind games, right? And a new player really shouldn't be learning mind games. Even though yes, it is in theory a part of it, right? It's kind of similar to like Dorinthia. But like in between Dorinthia and new is with Dorinthia, most of it is on offense, and a large of it is based on if your opponent blocked or not. With new, the mind games are, I'm going to send this Blade, Miss Blade. I have 2 cards in hand. Maybe one's a blue thing that has go again. Maybe they both are. Maybe it's just a 6 power. Maybe it's double attack reaction. Maybe it's a card plus attack reaction. Like, who knows? And you're trying to like play this like chess game with your opponent, and there's definitely fail cases with it. So for that, I actually think I actually have to put it in the same tier. And like for those same reasons I put new in the same tier, I will put Azuri. I think Azuri might unironically be the easiest. Only because you can simply tell the player, build your deck with like half stealth cards, half like cards you want to stealth into, and like a few reactions, and you can go like, alright, you're gonna throw a stealth card, react Azuri, put the other card in, and hope that's good enough. But they're gonna have to learn macro strategy. They're gonna have to learn how the other person's deck works, just like with the other assassins. So, yeah, I actually think all the assassins are in the exact same tier. I didn't think they would be, but the more I like filled out the list and I thought about it, yeah, these all have to be in the same tier. Olympia. Olympia is Olympia is kind of difficult. So it all starts with what weapon you put them on, and then that changes because you're always gonna be doing the wagering thing. But then what you have to teach someone when it comes to wagering is like the wagering mechanic's easy, but how do you use that to your advantage? Like you're gonna throw some out. Hey opponent, I have 2 cards in hand and I'm wagering. I probably have reactions. Do you think I have reactions? I know I do, but do you think I do? Or the last 2 times I've had reactions when I've had 2 cards in hand, but now I don't. You're gonna overblock thinking I do, and yeah, I might lose the wager, but hey, I got to get more value out of you. Yeah, for that actually, yeah, I think Olympia's probably in C2. I just think the way you play Olympia is just less defined. Number one, like in real life, it's just less defined. And 2, again, unlike Dorinthia, where the only question marks in Dorinthia is like, did my opponent block or not? It's just, how do I find a way to make this wager the most beneficial? And that is, I just, no. Most veteran TCG players can't play Prism. Why would you expect a new player to play Prism? That's pretty much it. Reinhardt, another interesting case where I think on the surface level, similar to KO, you can have them just play out their cards and tell them like, hey, read your hero ability. Sometimes when you discard 6s, you can make your opponent get rid of a random card. And I think that's simple enough. Is there layers deeper than that? Yes. Is it common for a new player to go that deep? No. So, and I think putting them on club is a little bit easier than claw. You can still put them on claw too, but I actually don't think runner is super difficult to learn at the thing. Now, obviously, when you go to some high level macro strategy and they get to learn that, the deck actually does spike in difficulty as you do learn, because then you have to play a lot of different axes. But you can pretty much just tell you, kind of similar to some of these other decks, just put your hand on the table. Sometimes your opponent's going to have to get rid of random cards and just beat them to death. So, good. Riptide. I think Riptide's in C. So the reason why Riptide's in C is because learning the various builds of Riptide is already a challenge, and all of them, even if they play the exact same shell, can play very differently. So, like Fatigue, like playing Fatigue is actually fairly hard in Flesh and Blood. If your plan of I'm just going to block 12 every turn, can't work consistently. Like if you just say I'm going to block 12 versus a KO every turn, probably just going to lose that game, right? Because you're just putting on no pressure. So you kind of have to understand like the ebb and flow of when you take like a turn to trash ship cards through disruptive effects and things like that. That can be a lot. Keywords can, doesn't always have to be, but it can. If you're aggro, well, you have to just get beat down, and then you have to sequence cards correctly. Because it's not like, oh, I'm just gonna pre-pump on this first one, send it, shoot it, go again, oh, shoot it again. And then you're like, oh fuck, I can't shoot because I only have one card in hand. I have no way to load it with Riptide. Oh no! It's like I've seen a lot of even veteran players fail with Riptide just because sequencing. Even though veterans will tell you how easy it is to sequence with Riptide, but again, when you talk to people who are masters of the deck, they can be blinded by a lot of these things. Like going back to the example, I have played a shit ton of control dash and actually even regular dash, right, and boost dash, right? I find the lines very, very simplistic. Now, yes, they actually can be very transferable to a new player too. But versus Kano, I find Kano lines pretty simplistic. Like I can look at the hand and be like, okay, I'm probably just doing this. But if I tell that to a new player, they'll be like, why? What? And sometimes it'll like even not get the result that they think is going to by the way I'm telling them. And it's like there's just a bunch of different layers upon layers upon layers. And it's the same thing with Riptide where like this hand is super simple. It's like you have pump, pump, D-react, arrow. And it's like there's a bunch of different ways. Like, do you just block with the D-react and move on with your life? Do you double block, play the pump, send the arrow? Do you block 3, arsenal the arrow? Do you block 3, play the pump, play the arrow, arsenal the D-react? Like, what exactly are you doing? Because all of those will have very different results, and it's going to be that butterfly effect where at one decision will change the course of the game. Teklevasan, I don't actually think it's super hard. The one thing you'll have to teach that player is just building things up. So this can be a start to. This can be like one of the few air quotes board state decks you can teach him and it not be too difficult. Because all they have to be like, okay, how do my evils work? And singularity can be kind of funky, but because there's only one, every match you don't get to just freely play it. Actually, no, I'm knocking him down a little bit. I'm knocking him down. Just, I wanted to actually ignore singular, we just can't because it's like what the deck is built around. And I can't just say, oh, we'll just tell them to block out because we've already established like this telling someone to block out every turn, especially as a new player, is not fruitful whatsoever. So I gotta knock it down to C. I wish it was a little bit higher. I wish it could be a little bit higher for new people. But it's just the whole fact of singularity. I think a singularity didn't exist and it was just the Evos, I think it'd be fine. But because you have to play for that very specific condition of singularity, and when do you give up life, when do you block, fabricate can have interesting play patterns. There can be a decent amount of layers, and I don't want a new player to have to deal with that many layers. Victor, I think, is fairly easy. I think because of the clash mechanic and gold, he can be slightly more difficult because he can have plays where like, oh, okay, I have 6 gold. Can I start spending it? Do I need to spend it? What do I need to even spend it for? I think he probably is like top of. I'll keep it in like alphabetical order. Let me think if he's A or S. I think he might just be A, just because. Yeah, the mechanics where Betsy just has overpower like on the stick. You don't have to worry anything else about it. Bravo just has dominate on the stick. You don't have to worry anything else about it, and it's very simple. Where Clash can be kind of intense at a high level because it's like sometimes if you lose a clash, you're gonna put your card to the bottom, and then sometimes you're actually just gonna put your opponent's card to the bottom. Even if you lost the clash, just because you don't want them to have that card. And that might be like the most difficult thing, but because it's actually a thing that happens commonly, is like also because of how the deck can have spiky turns because of the gold. It's like, when do you play for like just playing efficient, playing smaller hands, and just waiting, and when do you tell your opponent like you're just an aggro deck? I think it's with Victor specifically, it's simple enough to keep him in A. He could again. I don't hate if someone puts him in S because he still has the exact same fundamentals as these two heroes, but because of specifically how gold can interact, I think you knock him down like a tiny bit. Viscerai. I actually think this is true for Vincent, but slightly. So I think wherever I put Viscera, I'm gonna put Vincent slightly lower. I think Viscera is not entirely hard because half of the work is done for you because the hero ability is a passive. You don't have to activate it; it just happens. So long as you remember. Ruin chance happen whenever you attack, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's because of the ratio of attack to non-attack and having the turn cycle flow in a certain way, it can cause some issues for new players. But because half of the work is done for you, I think you can probably put it in B. Vince said half of the work is kind of done for you because, again, you're making your own chance. The hero ability isn't a may, you just have to do it, so you don't have to think. The issues you're going to come into is because, kind of like when you're going to have natural card disadvantage on your own turn, you have to measure like how much damage am I supposed to take? What exactly am I supposed to block with? What am I banishing? What in game am I even playing for? What RuneGate cards are the best? I think there are gonna be some added issues, but I don't think it's on the level of these. And then the last deck is Zen. Contrary to popular belief, everyone's like, but I just put my hand down. Because you're also a deck that relies on combo lines and very specific things happening before the other. I don't think it's as easy as people will claim. Like, people claim, oh, dude, I just picked up Zen and I just killed someone on turn 2. I mean, yes, you're a very veteran of the TCG place. You probably just have a decent idea of how Zen is supposed to work, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit easier for you. But again, look through the lens of a newer player. Like, oh, I have these Mystic cards that I can only play when there's a blue, and some of them need something else to happen first. I have these cards with combo. I have a tutor on my hero ability. What is that about? And these crouching tigers come in for 0, but they obviously are very powerful. What do I care the most about? So for that, I actually also put him in C. I would not put a new player on Zen unless they're going to be on Ninja long term. Unless you think they are going to end up being a best deck in the room kind of guy, and you just be like, hey, you got to learn this is the best deck. You got to figure it out. I hope you figure it out, but you have to. But I think the differences between Fi and then the two combo ninjas are just I just think they're big. The rest of these are obviously LL heroes that you're not going to put a new player on. Like, hey, new player, learn Chain or Starble. They're going to be like, what? I can't play these anymore. I'm like, shit, you're right. But this, I think this is pretty accurate. Again, this is no order outside of it just being alphabetically ordered. But yeah, a lot of I think people overestimate the complexity of a lot of these heroes. Like if I better ask someone's gonna be like, "Oh, dude, Olympia's so easy." I'll be like, "What's easy about it?" Oh, dude, tackle awesome so easy. Just make the evos, okay. Then you start asking them questions about certain scenarios, and it's like, but it's easier to ask someone certain scenarios with these heroes, and you're probably able to get answers, even if they don't like main hero. Like if a person like plays a bunch of Fi, I could probably ask them a similar question about KO or Zaya. They could probably answer. Where if a person like mains fucking Vincent, and I start asking them other questions, it's like they just have the problems that can occur in game states are just not created equal. Is like the overarching point. But alright, guys, that's going to be the video. I was supposed to come out with this video a little bit sooner, but some things happened, but we got it out. It's been your boy Cypher from Cypher TCG. Make sure to teach those new players flesh and blood. Peace out. Alright. Last thing we're gonna do is not gonna be the largest stream. I'll show you guys like first impressions of Verdant and where I would like the deck to most likely go. Oh wait, no, this is I need to go to mine. But I will take a very small break. I'm gonna give me some water, but then we will talk about Verdant. Be right back. Alright. So this will be another video. We'll do 3 for 3, baby. Let's go. Alright, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Alright, YouTube. We are back. Support February. Wait. I'm like 92% sure I'm already a Patreon. It might have ran out, I just haven't renewed it. But we'll fix it later. But support Patreon. Wait, no, support February. I'm fucking losing it. But what we're doing today is we're going over my initial thoughts of how I would like Verdansk to be built. A few things to obviously go over is we don't have all the cards. Shocker. There's just not much that we are going to know or understand. Because like 90% of these cards in the deck are already out. And I would imagine that out of this, there's like what? 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 out of these 60 are not new cards. I would imagine like probably like 30 of these are not in the deck. Like it might legit become like 3/4 block constructed, right? So where do I see her initially being built? So obviously for those who know her hero ability, if there are 8 or more Earth cards in your banished zone, Verdansk gains. Whenever you gain life on your turn, specifically your turn, you may do 1 arcane damage to any opposing target. So, 2 big things that people need to remember. This is your turn, not each turn. Your turn. And you need a density of 8. So, the hero will actively tell us how we want to be building her. We want the ability to, we want Earth cards. We want the ability to banish them. And we want the ability to gain life on our own turn. So, what are the ways that we're doing that initially? Obviously, we'll go kind of somewhat card by card, but we have things like Autumn Touches. We want really good Earth cards. Earth Form, Entwine, Earth has synergy with Earth cards, filling up the crown. All that schneist. We want the ways to banish Earth cards. Obviously, filling up the crown is the big way. Then so tomorrow on. Hopefully, we have more ways as the set comes out. And then, as far as getting life on our turn, we have things like attacking with Fendel's Fighting Spirit. And we have Sigil of Solace and Heartbeat of Kano, and I imagine there will be more as the set comes out. So this is going to be a kind of like Bullander-esque feel. I think a lot of people quickly landed on this. I pretty much wanted to do this from like day one, the moment someone, I won't obviously spoil who, told me that she would be about gaining life. So I basically knew the exact hero ability besides the banishing part. And I immediately went to like a Bullander-esque thing. Now, I didn't know how much the life gain would matter. I just knew if you gain life, it was no damage. I didn't know if it was for each life you gain. Like, if I said Joe Solace heal 3, do I also deal 3? I didn't know exactly like that, but I knew it would be whenever you gain life, you deal arcane damage. So, starting with like the equipment, where I would start today is Balance of Justice. I think this deck is going to need extra fight into things like Brute and things like Ninja. And pretty much anything that plays our Wereblottish Bellows. I really enjoy the Balance of Justice here. Technically, when you look at headpieces, the command issues, like Icelander had a headpiece that like directly just synergized with her. Like as of right now, we don't have anything that naturally synergizes with her. So right now it'd be Balance of Justice. Tunic run be a much slower deck. We just actively want the extra resources on a lot of these turns, like to be able to like Tunic counter, like in theory, Tunic counters Aether Quickening being a 0 card 4, or 1 card 4 rather. That we choose off a Tunic counter, I think is pretty fucking sweet. Stonewall Golem against the aggro decks. We get really good mileage out of it. Yes, in theory, we could use Metacarpus Node, but as of right now, I actually don't see this being a Metacarpus Node kind of deck. Maybe down the road it could be. I think we are playing it aside, at least for SAB, but I don't think that this would play Metacarpus Node first over Stonewall when it has opportunities. And then obviously Storm Charge for Combos at the late game. So the weapon is like the most interesting thing. I initially was on Waning Moon for the end game, and there's a large role I go back just so I can also make Striders a little bit better. But the issue that we're going to see with the weapon again, as of right now, is this is only an action. We can't do anything at instant speed. Crucible would be interesting, so you can go like Crucible, Aether Quicken, Crucible, Scolding. You have a decent mid game that way. I was like, we're pumping for what? We're doing our resource to do 1 extra damage. Like, that's, in theory, fine. But I think we can just do much more with our resource than that. Krakens, actually, unironically think Krakens would be pretty good in this deck, but it's obviously allowed. Searstone is not a good card in the Flesh and Blood Constructor format. I think the one deck that in theory could have actually used Searstone would have been Icelander. But then you go to ask yourself, why would you not just play Waning Moon? Now, and I think, when Icelander first came out, I was even like playing Krakens in there. I just don't see a scenario where you're playing Searstone. Surgeon Aether Card. So the reason why I'm on Surgeon Aether Card right now is I'm playing this kind of like I played Kano, where it's like, play the Surgeon Aether Tide. Now my opponent has to choose, do I want to give up a card? So like the Mare's Code doesn't come in for 5. This Aether Queen doesn't come in for 5. And things like that. This isn't coming for 6. Or do I want to pay the 1 or pay the AB? Now I'm down a card. Now I swing. Oh, I just realized I don't have CNC in here. What the fuck? Hold on. I gotta put CNC in here. We're gonna find on the fly where we're taking over CNC. Maybe it's just that's a twofer right? That's a twofer, man. I'm kind of down with the twofer. It's a bull you have to work less hard for, but it's probably just this, right? It's probably sadly just this, even though I kind of like this card. There's just no way we're not playing TNT, right? Yeah. Whatever. This isn't over. Oh, I gotta put that in maybe, actually. Entwine. What? Am I dumb? Oh, maybe I spelled it wrong. I don't know. Maybe I spelled it wrong. I don't know. But, as far as weapons go, I think it's either going to be Moon, or it's going to be Aether Tide, or whatever her signature weapons ends up being. I don't know her signature weapon yet. But that's probably what it's going to be. Where I do like Waning Moon, is again, like, mid-range-ish, it's pretty good. It, technically speaking, is a little bit better on rate than this. But this needs you to have done something first. Like, where I can go Surgeon Aether in a physical attack, I need to be able to go, like, non-attack action and Waning Moon. Well, it's going to make your combo turn, like, worse. As of right now, obviously, because I can go Storm Striders a thing, and then that's it. But this may be a deck that doesn't use Storm Striders to kill. That is one thing that I was thinking about, was you don't use Storm Striders to actually kill the opponent. It is just there for you to have an action point, an extra action point on your turn, or do it on their turn, and maybe, like, that kills them. With, like, E-Scolding, right? But this is probably, like, the biggest thing, is just, like, what weapon do we actually do? Because I think the weapon actually will define a lot. So going to the main deck, we're going to see a common theme of just good 1 and 2 card hands. So Surgeon Aether Tide into Quicking is going to be 5 or 6 damage on 2 cards. At least rate-wise, it's always going to be that way, because it's going to send 1, and this is always going to send 4, so it's 5. It's just, if this hits, and now it's 6. If they strip a card, like, it's just a card that we got tripped for free, so I'll take that. 2 card hand with Autumn Touch is just 2 card 7. 2 card hand with CNC. 2 card 6 with Disruption. Earth Form, 2 card 7 with an Environment of Earth, which interacts with a lot of our non-attacks. Ameriscoting, 2 card 4, which is not awesome. But if you combine this with 2 and a counter, becomes 2 card 5, which, again, it's not it's not my favorite, but at least some of this damage is going to be unpreventable. Because like it's going to come in for 4. Most people will probably run AB3. So you get to leak 1, hopefully 2. But obviously, like we're mostly trying to do this on our opponent's turn, where it's 6. You strike, classic 2-card hand. Filling of the Crown, classic 2-card hand. One big thing with this is the Debunking. So this has the ability to be a 3 for 8 that also has the ability to disrupt our opponent. So the best way we can do this is if we have no other cards in hand when we do this, we send this for 8, and we have to make our opponent bottom a card. That's all now. That's now 11 value that we got. Insane. Fighting Spirit. 2 card 7, but can be 2 card 9. The reason why it's 9 is it's 7. We will gain 1 life, making it 8. 1 arcane, make it 9. Pulsing Aether and Life. If we have fulfilled the clause of our hero ability, for 1 mana, we can gain 1, deal 1, so that's 2. If we play an additional mana, we can deal 4. So we have 5. We have a 2 for 5 printed on the card. And then if we gain life, it comes 6, so it's a 2 card 6, but it also blocks 3. Scalding Rain, which Surge and Aether Tide in this, it's either 2 card 5 or 2 card 6. Sigil Solace is just there for synergy reasons. If we use this on our turn, we gain life, gain 1, so it's a 0-4 on our own turn. And just playing this, and like I said, it always felt really good. It's a good arsenal target as well. Can bait a lot of things out. And right now, like if decks are trying to dominate, you can kind of supersede, gain some life. You can easily replace this to look at D-React. That is one thing I initially was thinking, like, do I add D-Reacts to this? I think the in-build might have some amount of D-Reacts, but for right now I am foregoing it. Voltic Bolt is a natural 2 card 5. Surge and Aether Tide can make a 2 card 6 if we have Tunic. Fenris Fighting Spirit, 2 card 6, can be a 2 card 8. Going on to the blues. So one thing I have noticed with blues, like it does not have a lot of blues. I imagine as the set comes out, I'll be trimming on reds. The big issue that I have currently is when you look at the available pool of reds, it's like, does this deck need Aether Dart? Can we use Flare? Probably not. Like Blue Quickening, maybe. We use Blue Quickening, but is like Blue Quickening better than any of these cards? Now, because a lot of things... Because I'll need the 2 resources on a turn to swing this, like most things will need at least a blue. I probably have to up the blue count anyway. It's like, Sigil is probably cuttable. You can maybe cut like something like an Autumn's Touch or an E-Strike just to add some more blues. It just... At the moment, the blues I would like to add don't feel much better than the cards I already have. For the way I want this deck to be. Like, specifically. Let me make sure I don't... I do think a card like this is interesting. If we want to be a little bit more bullish. But obviously I don't think we're going to be fusing enough and physically attacking enough for it to matter, but it is something to look at. Blue Autumn's Touch, obviously, 2 card 5. Scolding, obviously we want to be playing our opponent's turn, so it does 4. Not great, but it's like, hey, we need some finishers, and this is just one of the better ones. E-Pot, I do think because it's the resource ask of this deck, we'll need E-Pot, definitely. Heartbeat Kano, the specialization. This is gain 1, gain 1, gain 1, all 3 separate times, so we'll be able to trigger our hero ability 3 separate times. I'll say again, this is another card that literally tells you how to play the deck. Tomorrow, this is one of the few ways we currently have to get cards in banished. I would love to get red and yellow Autumn's Touch, not red Autumn's Touch, red or yellow tomorrow. I just don't think those cards are very good. The upsides to playing them, as you will see, is this is 0 greater, this is 1 or greater, so it just has more targets. But realistically, the things I would want to be cycling are things like the CNC, things like the Scalding, the Voltic Bolt. Like, the things I would want to get back, this already hit, so it's fine. Allows us to draw as well, which is really, really good. Tonal Harvest, I think, is going to pop in this deck really big. Like Tonal Harvest. Let's quickly go past the inventory. So originally, this had Scarf of Scar in it, Heart of Findo, and Twine Earth. I think I replaced some better cards. I think almost every single deck, that I think can play a lot of non-attacks, I always look at Gore Belching and Rouse the Ancient as like this weird combo. I'm pretty sure it's never actually going to be good. But like, I can dream, you know? I can dream. And then obviously with the Solar Rejuvenate's super interesting. If this deck ends up being able to fuse a decent amount, this card just goes up in so much value. I mean, real and at its worst, right? You can pitch a blue, go Rejuvenate, game 3, possibly deal 1, so it's 4. And then Waning Moon plus 2 is 6, so you can consistently 6 somebody. God, if you pitch a hard find on that, oof. But you kind of see the theme here. Then we'll quickly go to the inventory. We have our anti-wizard package. We have okay, so Plume is something that, as of right now, is not going to be great. But what I was thinking of, right? Like the card, I was like, what if I can spend multiple heartbeats in a turn? So it was originally like pay heartbeat, gain 1, gain 1, gain 1. So 6 points of value. And then go Plume it back. Gain 1, gain 1, gain 1, and just 12 value someone. I don't know exactly where I would want that, because it's going to be 6 arcane damage, split up 6 ways. So, like, if they just have 2 blues, they just look at you and, like, go, like, wow, that was really nothing. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So this has potential to kind of do nothing, but, like, I just have a feeling that this card's going to be insane. I'm specking on this so fucking hard. I'm specking on it so hard. It can get stuff back like life, because it is an Earth card. So in theory, you could go life with both modes. Get your 6 points of value, and because this is 4, so this is likely to leak at least some amount. Have it in your graveyard, plume it back, and do it again. It can be. It definitely has. It definitely has a chance to be a good closing card, especially with something like Storm Strider. So I promise everyone I'm going to try to find a way to make Plume broken in this deck. It might. There's a world it could be better than Florian. Not 100% sure yet, but we're gonna try, man. And then we have our Anti-Oasis and Art of War. And something I just learned recently, the gate is 1 or less. I always thought it was 1. The fact that we have not been playing this until like Zen and all that stuff is kind of insane. Now, what do you take out in your main deck for Aetherize? I don't know, but it's like I don't know how this card just does not help us out versus like New, Enigma, and Zen. And then any deck that would play Oasis. I would have to experiment with it in CC. See what spots I want it in over a different card, but yeah, I think I'm gonna like Aetherize, especially like one cost instant. Hello, hello. There's just stuff already being printed that it counters. Hold the line again against those draw 2 decks. Rewind is also very interesting. I played a lot of Rewind when KO first became a deck, and I would just rewind their Blood Rush Bellows. And I think we can do things similar here. Like, again, let's just take the mirror match, for example. They play like a bulk, but we just rewind it back, and they probably can't do it again. We trade card for card, but we just don't take 5. We just stall the game out for a turn, and that's possibly just fine. Dude, imagine going against the Storm Strider's deck, right? Like, here's what we gotta think about. so people can actually read it. Target non-attack action, return to a token that gains an action point. So imagine you're a late game. Your opponent activates Storm Striders. They throw their Merit Scolding for 6 at you. You rewind it. They're gonna have so much egg on their face because now their life just sucks, and they like probably lost their way to beat you. Lastly, Scour. Enigma's gonna be rolling around. There's a decent amount of tokens just already in the format. I think Scour is a fine hit. And it's like, at the moment, what else would we need? Like, Warmongers possibly would be there, but it's like, I don't think Warmongers is that insane at the moment. It could be some anti-aggro cards, but like, what ones would we want? Like, maybe that's all you got? Versus something like Zen. That's kind of it. So, that's like the initial way I'm looking at the deck. As I've repeated a lot, this is likely subject to change. I don't imagine a lot of these cards being in the deck when Release Weekend come out, but at the end of the day, who knows? Maybe I just like told everyone exactly what the deck would look like day one, and you know, my work is done. I can just like, you know, smack my hands together like that. I don't really know what the fuck that was, by the way. Maybe I can just like, you know, do whatever and you know, just be the GOAT Verdants. Make sure you guys join the Discord, by the way. You know, I'm just gonna try not to like ADMs, but I have a Verdants Discord. It's been a little quiet lately, but we got a decent amount of people already in there. We already got a decent amount of people in there, so why don't you guys join? I will have a link to it in the description of this video, if I remember. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Join the Verdants Discord. Peace. Alright. I think that's it. The only other thing I wanted to look at was, unironically, was Florian. Wait, do we not have it all, Florian? Hello? Pretty sure we have it all, Florian, right? I'm not trolling? Right. Yeah, what the fuck? Is Adult Florian. I actually think, legit, I think this could actually be the new OTK deck. Legit. For those who knows, I love OTK Viscerai. It's what, there's a large chance I'm playing it in LL. If, depending how slow or fast we can get this clock on, I think the turns that we're going to take off from being able to create extra run chance is going to outweigh the Viscerai doing it every single turn. Like, for example, Viscerai is only that good when you're playing like 2 to 3 cards a turn. But like, for example, I could just play a Read the Runes and just make 4. So it'll be as if I played something before it. Obviously, that's not literally how it works. But just think about just saying, here's a Read the Runes, make 4 enchants. Here's, I don't know, Runeblade Incantation. Make 2, make 2, make 2, so make 6? Just doubles everything. Think about, oh god, just imagine Skeleton was legal. Oh, wait, hold on, is this just better than Viscerai and LL? Hold on a second. So the downside is you don't get access to making Swarming Gloomville as good of a card. Because you don't keep making ring chants, but it's like, imagine this was Skeleton. Oh, hold on a second. This I might have to spec in some. Well, I already have Elvis, right? Which a lot of those cards will probably go in there. But I might have to spec on some Earth cards. I already have some Earth cards, like obviously for like Verdants, but I can show you guys what the Blitz version looks like. I wasn't even considering any OTK, But like, I have to imagine. I have to imagine, like, you can probably do some crazy stuff. Wait, this game life too? Wait. Has it always gained life? Pretty sure I'm getting trolled right here. But yeah, this list was super changed a lot. I already know this was super changed. Well, like, actually, you know, before we leave, let's spec on another Florian list. As I say like 40 million times, there's a large chance this changes. Runeblade, Florian, baby, this. So, wait, what the fuck is this? Oh. So we want Scepter gets even better because now it just makes 2. Scepter. Wait. Oh, Hello? Scepter of Pain. I am really a fan of Tessin. Headpiece and Blitz. Headpiece and Blitz. It's probably just. I mean, Zen's a fucking insane deck. Always has to be that. This is another deck where, like, Plume unironically could, like, probably do something. Okay. Chess. Skeletal, why you banned? And, is it Tunic, or is it this for the block value? Could it be both? Thinking. Probably both, to be honest. We probably want both, to be honest. I guess we can... Because I can see definite things for both. Arms. Grasp and Vexing both have merit here. I'm also going back and put the AB headpiece in. Put the economy in there. Legs, I think there's only one option. I guess 1/2, I guess. But you probably just want creepers. And then, so we want well, hold on. Let's start with our Earth. Let's start with our Earth cards, because Earth cards are going to be the big thing with, Florian. God, fucking Chronoseeds. Dang it. I like Earth Form. I do like Earth Form. I like Felling. God, this is painful. What does this card do? Wait, hold on. So gain extra enchants where X is the total life you've gained this turn. So we're going to have to gain life with this deck too? Okay, that's interesting. That's, it's not what I expected. It may not stay in the deck, I'll be here with you. Unless, like, we use, like, Germinate. Wait, hold on. I forget how the rulings just work? I forget how this works. If I play this, I can play this, right? Oh, but it's just 2 different artists. Well, that's so cool. Hold on a second. Because if I go Germinate, X equals... Well, hold on, let me think. So if I, like, attack... Wait, hold on. So if I attack with, like, Ninth Blade... Oh, these don't have to go again. Fuck. Because I was going to say, if I attack with, like, Ninth Blade, Creepers in... like, one of these two, it doesn't matter if, like, one of them just had to go again. I have to remember how the spec cards work. Cause like, I assume if I, well, hold on. If I play if I play this, I just get to play the other side too. I just gotta melt it. Well, we'll think. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I have a very cool idea. So one thing with this deck is this deck will care less about playing multiple things on turn. It just wants to. I mean, if it can play multiple things on turn, it definitely will. Wow, this is not a lot of Earth cards. This is not a lot of Earth cards. Oh man, we might need to do the triple soul tomorrow, man. We might need to do triple soul tomorrow to save us. I'll put the blues in there at least. Oh god, this is painful. Oh, I'm actually just in physical pain. This is not a lot of Earth cards. I mean, I only have so many slots left. Alright, let's do Create Rune Chance. Okay, so we want Blessing. I want blue Mob Skies 100%. I don't know if I need that Mob Skies. Morgitide. Okay, so that's the thing. So since we don't have like Sky, we're not doing like Snot Art Mechanics. Or what is it called? The fucking that other. We're not since we don't have Skeleton, we can't do like Sonata stuff. So I have to like get out of LL brain. So we definitely want Read the Runes. We definitely want Rooster Enchant. Revel's interesting. Revel's very interesting. I do think we want Runeblade. Some stuff we're going to be skipping, but like we'll maybe because like this I can see this making the deck because it just makes 6 or sorry makes 3. I don't. I'm starting to get real tired, guys. Sorry, it's like 2 a.m. I've been up a lot of the day, so this just makes 3, so it's good at yellow, I think. Reduce is like fine. Again, a lot of these cards will probably not make it to the main deck. Runeblade Barrier, I think is interesting. I like blue Mob Skies here. Wait, what? What the fuck is like cards missing? Oh, these are the ones that make Rune Chance. Oh, because I guarantee you. This is an Earth Runeblade, right? So, like, let me see. He's elemental, yeah. So I guess technically I have to think about, something like Bramble Spark. No. What the fuck is this? Lightning Cloak. I can't do anything with it. Explosive Growth is super interesting, but I don't think our deck is going to be playing it. Yeah, because like I'm slowly going like, yeah, it's just put like meet and greet in there, put this in there. It's like it doesn't do what I need it to do. Revel's a very interesting one. Maybe we're playing Rune Flash. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it's like, is there a reason to play this with Escalada? Because, like, again, at least in Viscera, it makes half a Rune Chant, where it doesn't actively do anything here. Ooh, Sonata would be interesting. This one, Laxia, has 6 targets at the moment. Isn't bad. We can probably chuck it in there. But yeah, so sadly, like swarming. Actually wait. Swarming just needs you to have created. I'm being stupid. How likely can we create one on that same turn? Because we need to be able to create one, and then be able to send swarming. Wait, no, we don't have fucking Sonata. See, I literally just have permanent Sonata Brain. I literally just have permanent Sonata Brain. I hate it. Knife blade probably can go in there. We're about to hit the blues. Oh god, there's like no fucking blues in this deck. I hate it. God, I'm just like not a fan. I'm not a fan of what is happening. Dread Triptych, here we go. Dread Triptych. Okay, if Tog was here, he'd be like, oh yeah, well, put the Lumen Doom in there. I don't know why it made him sound like that. I'll put it in there because it's a blue 3 block. So, like, accidentally can do something with her enchant. But, like, I've gotten burned by that card actually, like, not being good so many times. Vixenels could be decent. I'm not putting this card in there. You my ass. Alright, this looks decent. This looks decent. Okay, well, that is going to be the end of the stream, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in today. It was awesome. I know, again, a lot of you will be watching the VOD, so comment down below on the VOD what you guys like. It's been your West from Steph and TCG. I'll see you guys.